What's going on YouTube, GeoSnow right here. So in today's video we're going to discuss some important stuff related to the iOS 11 jailbreak, to the iOS 11.2.2, 11.2, and more important about the downgrades and upgrades with FutureRestore. So I'm going to start with the fact that the iOS 11.3 Beta 5 has been released by Apple today. So why is this important? Well, according to a couple people on Reddit who apparently tried, it's currently impossible to use the SEP or Secure Enclave processor from the iOS 11.3 Beta 5 in order to upgrade to iOS 11.1.2 from any older version with your blobs. So for those of you who do not know, you're currently able to actually upgrade from iOS 10.2, 10.2.1, 10.3.3, 10.1.1, all the way up to iOS 11.1.2 if you do have your blobs. And the way you do that is by using the FutureRestore tool created by Timstar. And of course, if you do have your blobs saved, you just need to combine two IPSWs. You pretty much have the IPSW for the iOS 11.1.2, the one that you want to restore, but you do need the SEP or Secure Enclave processor and the baseband from the latest version that is signed. In this case, it's iOS 11.2.6. Now, iOS 11.2.6 does work in this scenario, and the SEP is compatible, so you're able to do this. But apparently, the iOS 11.3 Beta 5 SEP is not compatible, which means that once iOS 11.3 is out and iOS 11.2.6 will no longer be signed, you will not be able to use your blobs anymore to perform an upgrade from, let's say, iOS 10.2 to iOS 11.1.2. You probably know that iOS 11.1.2 is no longer signed, so this is the only method that you can employ for the moment in order to upgrade to that version. If you want to run a jailbreak on a newer version, but you missed the opportunity to upgrade to it. So if you're planning to upgrade from an older jailbroken version to the iOS 11.1.2 using your blobs, do it right now. This is the time. Once iOS 11.3 is out, there might be complications. The next thing I would like to discuss is this. Now, one gamer dev is a developer in the community, and he posted something very interesting here on Twitter for the iOS 11.2 users. So he says, quote, 11.2 people doesn't expect all the features available on iOS 11 and iOS 11.1.2. A sandbox escape simply isn't capable of this. And of course, people asked, well, what we should expect then? And he says, quote, you can block updates, control center, icon badges, dock separator, change resolution, and so on. So what he means by this? Well, he means that you should not expect a fully fledged jailbreak like the Electra to come out very soon, only with the proof of concept that we have from Zimperium. Because you probably know that for iOS 11.2 up to iOS 11.2.2, Zimperium has released a proof of concept for a possible sandbox escape, which, although very important, it's not enough for a full jailbreak. It's not a kernel exploit. So in this case, only minor things can be done that would simulate a jailbroken device. And in this case, you can block updates, you can modify the control center, the icon badges, dock separator, change resolution, and some other Houdini related stuff. You probably remember Houdini. This has been a program created by Abraham Masri, and it was built the same way on top of a couple exploits, and one of which was a sandbox escape. So you can do a couple things with a sandbox escape if you're very creative, but it's definitely not enough for a jailbreak. That doesn't mean that a jailbreak will not come for iOS 11.2, it just means that the first things you're going to see being created for iOS 11.2 might not be as powerful as Electra is today and might not have directly Cydia. And you should be able to understand the fact that there is simply no exploit available in order to do more than this. So yeah, that's a very good point from one gamer dev here. For the moment, for a fully capable jailbreak, we need a fully capable exploit, and if I had to bet, it will probably be released by Jan Beer at some point, as most of the exploits lately, but for the moment there isn't one, so we need to wait for that. Speaking about releases, the Filza Electrocuted has been released in its final version today. So what is it all about? Well, this one is a Filza file manager for the iOS 11, and it works perfectly fine apparently. You can install debs, you can open the trash and delete files and do modifications and do whatever you were able to do on Filza on iOS 10. Now this hasn't been developed by the original author, it has been developed by AppleDry05 and Jake James on Twitter. So if you're interested in Filza executed, you can definitely check it out on their repo that is available in the description down below. Well, it has been released in a final version, so I guess it's stable. Now I would like to tackle a little bit more on the downgrading process or the upgrading process to the iOS 11.1.2, since it's quite important. Now I say that you need to use FutureRestore, and of course you need to combine the SEP or Secure Enclave processor and the baseband with the iOS 11.1.2. So what is this all about? Well, you will need to use this program in here, and there are a couple tutorials available online, but there is a problem with this program. It's only available for macOS and Linux, and this is the way it always has been. There has never been a stable Windows version, and any effort to make a Windows version by Timstar has been abandoned long ago. So what this means for Windows users, because I get a lot of questions, well, I would like to do the update from the iOS 10 or from the iOS whatever, but I can't use FutureRestore because I do not have a Linux or macOS machine. Well, you have two solutions available for you. You either get Linux working in a VirtualBox or install it as a secondary OS on your computer, or you use the Windows version that is a fork created by Encounter. So this guy in here has created a fork of the FutureRestore that is actually compatible with iOS 11 and is also compatible with the Windows operating system, and you can check it out in here. The precompiled version can be found for macOS and Windows in comparison with Timstar's repo, which contains the macOS and Linux versions. So if you want to use this program on Windows, you definitely can. I have never used this guy's version, but it is trusted and I think it works. Now, if there are any bugs, it's down to you to find them and report them, but there is a Windows version available, so if you have your blobs and you want to try it, definitely try upgrading from iOS 10.2, 10.1, 10.2.1 to iOS 11.1.2 right now, because once iOS 11.2.6 is out, there might be complications and even problems, since the SEP or Secure Enclave processor seems to give the ghost on updating. So yeah, the last thing I would like to tackle is the Electra. There haven't been any updates on the Electra lately, but I just wanted to remind you that if you're currently running an older version like 1.0.3, just update to 1.0.4. A lot of people are still telling me in the comment section that Electra 1.0.3 is pretty buggy and it crashes on them. Well, 1.0.4 is already out, in case you didn't know that, and you can update to it, which pretty much fixes quite a lot of problems. Once you update to 1.0.4, you should also update the tweak injector to the version 1.0.4 from their official repo. This is to get the safe mode and the system daemons working properly. Just a reminder in case you did miss that. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on currently, guys. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you really want to upgrade from an older version that is jailbroken with blobs, do it right now. I definitely advise you to do it right now. Pay attention, follow a tutorial that you find to be the best explained, and do not leave this for up to the last moment, because once iOS 11.2.6 is out, your time is out for doing the update. So yeah, thank you for watching again. I'm GeoSnow. Peace out.